that video where we looked at the, you know how in Mario Party 6 there are mini games that have been remade from all the classical entries. So I thought, why not look at the mini games in Mario Party Superstars and see which is the worst remade minigame from the classical series. So what I mean is, like, the worst minigame from Mario Party 1 that's been remade to Mario Party Superstars, worst minigame in Mario Party 2 remade. You get the idea. Or I explain it better probably in the best one, but instead of the best thing, it's the worst thing. So if you want the more positive version, just look at the last video. Anyway, I better get into it with the Mario Party 1. Mario Party 1 was kind of not good. I was playing a board of Mario Party Superstars, and I knew I had to pick this minigame because this minigame kind of made me rage a little when I was playing a board of Mario Party. So I had to pick Castaways because one, the controls are like bad because this minigame made me actually rage during a game of Mario Party. I'm not actually joking because there was actually one where I couldn't get a single coin. Or I only got one coin, which also made me rage. So I had to pick this one. And besides, the controls are not good anyway. And this minigame, I'm gonna got Nintendo sued, along with Tug of War, Paddle Battle, Pedal Power, Tug of War and Castaways. But they come with a disclaimer: not to use the palm of your hands. That is worse enough. But me rating just had to push this in. Okay, let me tell you, I do not like button masher. So for Mario Party 2, there was a button masher that is pretty infamous. But I know I could just use the turbo thing, but I feel like a legitimate for putting it there just for that. Or even I hate button mashing, even though I have turbo controls. I still don't like it because I feel like it's either unfair for me or I have an unfair advantage. Both of which are not fun to do. So, guess what minigame I'm going to pick? 10 seconds. Actually, no, pause and pick. Okay, you might be surprised with what I picked here. It is Hammer Slammer. Who expected me? I think some people expected me to pick like Mecha Marathon. But no, I picked Hammer Slammer. Because a Mecha Marathon is just mashing two buttons, and I could get away with using turbo for that. But I think Hammer Slammer is honestly worse because there are two windows in which you can lose. You could either lose by not mashing hard enough or mashing too hard that the rocket goes flying away. And even with turbo, this is bad. This is not good. I'll try not, and I feel like this wouldn't have been fun anyway, because there are like items that are high up and there's like a big window in what you can get. I think you can guess the Mario Party 3 burst one, because at this point it's pretty one that takes long, so you know how to pick this one. And I didn't like it because it just takes so long. It takes that long to do, and I don't like it if it takes too long. And it's also unfair for me because I can never win it. And I'll tell you what it is, and you can guess what now. It's a minigame that in the first worst Mario Party minigames list, I actually didn't. This was on there, and yes, it is with none other than the minigame called Mario's Puzzle Party. Because it's like it's like Tetris, or like those block puzzle games, which is good, but you have to get to 100 points for the game to come to a close, and that takes forever. And it can be on the board, which is worse. Because if it's on the board and it takes forever, that just makes it bad. Because sometimes, and it's a minigame, I don't have ways to win, so that's just even worse. So why did I have to know this existed? Okay, alright, fine. I'll move on. Okay, Mario Party 4's one is also a button masher, just like Mario Party 2, but it has too much button mashing that I couldn't let it slip by this time. Because I just can't let things like that very slip by. So there's no way I'm letting Dungeon Duo slip by this, obviously, because it's too much button mashing, and I don't like the button mashing, even with Turbo, because I feel like I have an unfair advantage sometimes, and it sometimes can end in a tie. If you have another human player who is not good at mashing, it can also end in a tie. So basically, it's basically either end in a tie and split 5 coins, or use Turbo and get 10 coins, both of which I find unfair. Which I don't like, especially before I had a Turbo controller. This minigame wouldn't have been better anyway. But because of the jumping being a little annoying, because especially jumping onto the little twirl pad thingies, or the ones where you have to move around. Those were not good. I know people might disagree, but this is my opinion, and they might not be as accurate as you think. So the top thing is coming soon. Like the top 20 worst and best Mario Party minigames are coming soon, and this was going to actually be kind of a reference. They help because maybe half of the list could be these. These could make up half the list. You don't know these. You won't know those, so don't ask me. I think this is too much. I'm moving. This is another minigame I just can't control very well. Well, obviously these are my minigames. I know, but I know even if but like most of the time I'm always pushed behind no matter what. In later skate, I'm like too bad at later skater, guys. Because I hold the button and I'm still pushed behind, and even though it's not even a button masher, and if it was a button masher, it would be worse. The only positive I could give it is the music, but my hands were tied anyway, and there weren't enough Mario Party 6 minigames, and I remember this one stood out the most. Not Mario Party 6, Mario Party 5 minigames, and I knew this one stood out the most to actually go on. Sorry, Lotus Skater fans. Okay, Mario Party 6. I was actually had to pick between 2 minigames that I thought were bad. I was gonna pick. But I feel like one of the minigames you hardly see that often, and one of them you see a lot more often. So I decided to pick Mass Meteor over Pit Boss. I was thinking of picking Pit Boss but I realized I wouldn't see Pit Boss that much, and it's a 1 in 3 chance to be picked in a Bowser minigame. And besides, in the real minigames, it's actually a survival game. It's suddenly a real game. If you aren't playing on a board. So I gave it to I gave the edge to Pit Boss and went for Mass Meteor instead. This is one of my least favorite duel minigames. It's not the worst duel minigame though. Obviously. Well, but because of all the meteors and for some reason I'm always kept pushed behind in the race, which I find no reason why, because in like the other duels, like Vine with me, I'm not pushed back that far. But how come here I am pushed back all of a sudden? This is probably why I don't like this duel. You see what I haven't put here? Now here's my least favorite duel, Spin Doctor. Obviously I don't like this duel because the red things are more restrictive, and it kind of is luck dependent on which it was, because the reds won't move in most of the directions, and the red ones are kind of in the way, and the red ones are bad, and the red ones are this and that. Okay, I think, but it's just, the music is okay, but and this is the only minigame without such music. And you have to go through a long maze of these things in order to reach the end, which is just very, very bad mixed together, especially with the Mario Party player who doesn't like luck-based minigames that much, and who is sometimes like, okay, all right, I'm just moving on. The one that tied my hands the most is Mario Party 8, because there were only 2 minigames. Obviously I like this minigame, but I picked the one last time, and it would be weird for me to pick the other ones again, because it's winner or dinner. I like winner or dinner, but my thing was tied up, okay? But you can get less coins and you can get eaten, and besides you get thrown into a tornado, so there are that. So I'm just going to move on straight away. And I think did I say I didn't like luck minigames like a couple of minutes ago Well, Manner of Escape. Who invited Manner of Escape? Okay, Nintendo invited Manner of Escape. But why? It's complete luck based, and you can copy the other players and then it's just a luck and then the game's over. Which I am not a fan of stuff like that. So obviously you have to pick Manner of Escape for the one. Okay, now it's Mario Party 10. But it's the one I feel bad for putting as the worst because it was also something I didn't like. But I had some other options I could have done. And I will be making a finalized top 20 version, and this might make up half the list. So I decided that the worst minigame to end this thing off is Flash Forward. I like the colourful black crowns, just couldn't save it. Sure, I like them, and besides, I didn't have that many options for minigames here. I could have picked Skewer Scurry, because it's kind of a little bit of a mixed up. But I just can't. Actually, I should have picked Skewer Scurry, but Flash Forward is probably a little annoying, and sometimes it can get a little unfair at some points. And maybe I should pick Skewer Scurry because I'm actually. No, never mind. It's Flash Forward. There are even some unfair moments, and it can end in a draw like most of the time. Which is So, guys, guess what? Top 20 worst and best Mario Party minigames are coming soon. Like, subscribe, and ring in the comments, and I shall see you.